Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Professor Ming's Strategic Insights. In our last episode, we talked about the trade relationship between Taiwan and the United States. We came to the conclusion that the relationship between the two countries is not only robust, but also supplementary. Today, we want to single out one of the dimensions we mentioned last week, Taiwan's semiconductor industry. We want to find out just how important Taiwan's semiconductor industry to the United States. Again, the question can be probed from several different aspects. Let's begin with the first one, the technological aspect. We mentioned the TSMC last week. TSMC, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, is the leading wafer producer in the world. And the TSMC is the world's largest and only foundry that can achieve 3nm process and 3 nanometer process, and also in volume production. Many big American companies like Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, and Broadcom, they all rely on TSMC products. I know it's hard to believe, but the TSMC's process is far more advanced than most American companies, including Intel and GlobalFoundries, and even with better yield rates. That is to say that as of now, the United States still lacks the plan B, or a substitution for advanced process other than the TSMC. Intel is chasing after TSMC, but is unable to produce in volume that can compete with the TSMC products. The United States is very strong in IC design, but on the manufacturing end, they still depend heavily upon Taiwan. Generally speaking, there are 5 major domains in the so-called semiconductor industry. They are the chip manufacturing, IC manufacturing, photomask, packaging, testing, and the last one, IC design, or IC designing. United States is leading in the last one, but for the other 4, Taiwan is still the leader. And the second question is, just how important is Taiwan's semiconductor industry to American businesses? We all know that the semiconductor industry is the backbone of today's technology, especially to American industry, or to American technological industry, so to speak. Actually, almost all of the key components of the cloud services, such as AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, iPhones, Tesla EVs, HPC, the so-called high-performance computing, and AI platforms, they all come from Taiwan factories. In other words, without Taiwan's advanced chips, the businesses of most American companies or technological companies will come to a halt. Let me give you a footnote here. The chip order or the chip contract the TSMC gets from the Apple company exceeds $17 billion per year. And thirdly, in terms of the global supply chain, Taiwan is the key node or the critical node in chip production. More than 90% of the top 10 advanced chips in the world are produced in Taiwan, especially in areas like HPC chips, namely the high-performance computing chips, AI training chips, mobile phone SoC chips. It's almost impossible to bypass the TSMC products. That is to say, United States remains the undisputed IC design. And the 4 remaining areas, such as wafer manufacturing, IC manufacturing, packaging and testing, and photomask, Taiwan is the undisputed number 1. So the cooperation between the two companies constitute the most efficient production mode in the world. And lastly, let me turn your attention to the question of geopolitical or national security risks. To Taiwan, Communist China has always been the biggest security threat for decades. Should Communist China attack Taiwan or simply impose a blockade, that means the United States will be unable to obtain Taiwan's chips, high-end chips especially. I remember that Pentagon once warned, if the chip supply from Taiwan being cut off, the United States will be facing disastrous consequences in terms of its economy and national defense. And Taiwan's advanced chips is of vital importance to American weapon systems, including tanks, airplanes, airplane carriers, missiles, and even telecommunication. So in summary, Taiwan's semiconductor industry is of vital importance to the United States in terms of technology, American businesses, global supply chain, and even geopolitics. Okay, that concludes our discussion today. I hope you liked today's program. Please share it with your friends if you haven't done so. And also please subscribe to our program. And please do remember to click the icon bell so that you can get an on-time notification. We'll see you next time.